So in the last 13 years or so, I was able to get my necessary work week down to 2.5 hours per week. That allowed me to have like real business freedom for me and the team, and allowed me to have time off for like 4 to 5 months every single year. When I first graduated, I just truly believe that time is our most precious asset, that we're here to do what we want, when we want, as much as possible. And I didn't believe that the corporate world had that. I graduated with an accounting degree. I had great offers from the firms, and all I could think is like, screw that. I don't want to count beans. I don't want to work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. I don't want to wear a business suit. I want to be able to be creative. What if I'm amazing at what I do? How can I even climb this ladder? Just so much of that world went against what I believed in. And I also had the blessing that I had a dad who came from nothing, created so much for himself and the family, and was able to be there for us and have time off a lot for himself as well. So when I first graduated, I was like, screw you firms. And I went out to Steamboat Springs, Colorado, where right away I started my first company while taking a night job working on the mountain so that I could snowboard all day and also try to get this company started. And it was growing with the internet. And it actually took about 5 years until I was able to find a product or service that allowed me to start selling things online and make enough money so that I could quit my day job. And once that happened, that was like 5 years later, I'm like, great, boom, it started getting traction and I started growing with the internet. Then I moved down to Scottsdale, and one of those crazy universe blessings is I hired my best friend who was in college, who just needed some work at like $8 or $9 an hour. And that was a gift because I learned what it was like to be able to hire someone and to hand off things. And he taught me trust and loyalty. Next thing you know, with my knowledge of the internet and working with someone who just I believed in and who taught me a lot, next thing you know, our company started taking off fast. We started disrupting the music industry. We sold drums and percussion gear online, and we just started crushing it. We just started putting retailers out of business. Next thing you know, we had a total of 4 employees, all young, no degrees, creative, and we were just had a passion for drumming, and we had a passion for doing something different in this way of life. And we just started slaughtering it online. So what happened is, as that growth started to happen, it was really hard to keep track of everything that we had to do. And I also had a busy personal life. Was in a romantic partnership, dog owner, hockey player, loved hanging out, and it was just everything. So when we had all this business that's starting to grow, and all these things that I need to keep track of, all these like job roles, all these recurring duties, all these tasks, and I was also partners in an internet marketing firm where I was the focus on the cost per click. So having to keep that together, like all of a sudden it was just becoming too much. I don't want to say that it was super overwhelming because I'm not a overwhelmed person or that much like stress and anxiety, but it became really hard to keep track of. And I'm just like, how in the fuck do you keep track of everything? Like I tried, like, how do you track your goals? How do you track your projects? How do you track the recurring nature of this business? Well, one day my partner in the internet marketing firm gave me a call, and he gave me a request that was normal to do something for a customer. And all of a sudden my body started freaking out. I'm like, I got to get the hell off of this call. I actually lied to him. I'm like, hey, I'm getting another inbound call. I need to hang up. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So like my heartbeat's skyrocketing, everything else is going on. And I go into the bathroom and I try to calm myself down. And I'm sitting there, I can feel my heartbeat racing, and I could actually feel multiple streams of thought happening. Like it was and it was so high. I remember tearing up a little bit, and it was such an extreme level of anxiety that I must have sat in the bathroom for 10 or 15 minutes just trying to calm down. So I went to go walk out where my team was, and I'm like, I'm just going home. So I said, hey, didn't even look at him. I'm like, hey, I'm going home. And when I'm driving home, I'm driving close to the curb because it feels like at any minute, I'm just going to need to pull over and get the fuck out of the car. And my home was only like 3 minutes away. So I get home, go into my bedroom, and I stare at the ceiling for like 2 to 3 hours. And finally, I calm down. And I'm just like, what the fuck was that? Wow. Anyhow, fast forward 3 to 5 years later, when I was getting a routine yearly checkup with my health, when I went to go see my new doctor in Newport, he was like, he did an EKG on my heart for the first time, and he said, something looks off. I want to actually do another one. I'm like, great. I'm super healthy, great in shape, right? I'm just like super healthy all around, in shape, fit. And then he came back and we did it again. He's like, have you ever had like an extreme anxiety attack or something that would like blow a fuse in your heart? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think so. And then I recalled back to that day what happened. And I'm like, holy shit, that's what that was? Was it a minor heart attack? Was it an extreme anxiety attack? It's the only time I ever had one. So flipping back to that time, right? Like how many people get overwhelmed? How many of the heart attacks happen on Monday? How many times were people's inability to manage all that they have to be responsible for in their business and life, where their life and their business is actually running them rather than them running it? So flip back to the time when I went home. Now call it this crazy universe timing. That month is when I decided to find some mentors and the right coaches regarding basically time management for individuals and teams. Like how in the hell can I actually learn from someone who has what I want, who's a role model and some mentors out there that not only are extremely productive, they're stress-free, and they have time freedom for everything. So boom, those books fell in my lap, and the couple mentors fell in my lap, and I'm just looking at it like, wait a minute, is this all I fucking need to be doing? Like, I kept trying to fix everything myself all the time, when in this whole time, this universe has people that have the results that I'm looking for, and they're right there. Boom, I got educated on and integrated it into my family and my business. And here's what changed. This is what changed once we implemented these things into the company, which probably only took about 30 days, but it takes about, maybe 90 days to write everything out. One, we then hit the productivity record in the industry for the next 13 years, top 200 in productivity. We also hit the top 200 in sales in the next 13 years. Once that got implemented, we set a growth record for the industry. We were number 2 in the entire industry in our growth record. My time in office went down 80-90%, my necessary time. Then I moved to the beach out in San Diego. My team also got unlimited time off requests because we knew how to handle each other. We knew how to cover each other. I started traveling internationally consistently. I consistently bought one-way tickets, consistent domestic travels. And it was not just the time freedom that freed up. We probably freed up 25 to 50% of the time in how we were handling our current workload, and getting clear on what needs to be done by everyone, how often and how, and to really get things clearly documented, and having master checklists for like the manager that freed up like their time in their mind. That's when shit really took off. And what was beautiful was it wasn't just the time freedom that happened, it's the peace of mind, the trust, and like the trust and the confidence that you have such a clear system that everyone knows what to do and how often, that you can cover each other and you can also scale. And so once this actually happens, not only does your time that it takes to run everything greatly free up, the mental energy frees up. Next thing you know, that same system probably eliminates 80% or more of the time that it takes to bring on a new hire. It just handles itself. There's no more training from the head and those things. And to the end of it, let's go to the end of it now. When I went to go sell my companies, I didn't realize how much extra value that added to the sale of the company. Because I could literally show the prospective buyers, not only the financials, which is easy, I could literally show them on one giant piece of paper, an Excel grid. This is the entire org chart. This is what they need to do. This is how often. This is where it links off to how. And they're just like, holy shit, I can actually take a look at this to see areas where I want to take over your job and the managers. Where can I actually improve upon things? I'm like, yeah, this is the entire organization just like that. And it's just on one giant piece of Google sheet of paper that's all tied together with it. So that greatly increased the value of the sale of the company. So I believe that the owner, as well as every team member is allowed to have unlimited time off and to be able to cover each other so that we can be experiencing mini retirements and time off while we're young, while we're growing, to be healthy. We need time off to take care of our health. We need time off to take care of our wealth and create additional streams of income. You need time off to take care of your relationships and what's there. Like 2 to 4 weeks off is fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. It's total bullshit. That time off, like I had this great conversation with one of my partner's friends, was 2 to 3 weeks off a year barely is the time that you need to just handle the maintenance of your life. You probably need 3 to 4 weeks off a year just to handle maintenance and get everything caught up from all your doctors, all the things you want to do, the things you need to check up on, your home, like all the recurring shit, just to make sure that your life and your business is running well. And I'm just a firm believer in it. And we get to have that time freedom and that mental freedom to make sure that things are running well with and without you. That's what it's about. And when you get these things into place, that is when the freedom actually occurs. The time off occurs. It is a huge impact on the financials. It's a huge increase on everybody's health. It's a huge increase on the joy. Like, that is how you get to it. And what is crazy, and what I reiterate about this in the word system, when I really learned it, what is great about the right system? One, it's flexible. Don't ever let anyone try to sell you new things or replace things that you think are working. If you kind of rate it as a 7 to a 10 out of 10, there's no need for you to replace it. Only discard what isn't working and fill in those gaps. So a great system is flexible. 2, it's reliable. The right system that we have, the leak-proof system, it is leak-proof. You don't lose track of any email, any inbox, nothing's getting through to you. All of your notes, all of your ideas across all your scheduling, projects, recurring natures, all your libraries, you need to hold that information, all those best practices, you don't lose anything. You have clear best practices and routines on what to check up on when so that nothing falls through the cracks. You get that level of reassurance, next thing you know, you are set up to scale. And when you're set up to scale like that, that means you can grow in every area of business and life. You literally have the steps in the system and the tools to grow exponentially. So if people want to find out more, fill out the Time Mastery Xray form. It allows me to see, based on their current system, what's working and what's not working, and to be able to hop on a call with them to get more clarity and to actually see if there is possible solutions. So if anyone out there wants that, fill that out. We are normally able to review it and reply within 3 business days. But bottom line, I really believe that it is about your time freedom and whatever you can do to have more time to do what you want with the people that you want so you can focus on what really matters in life. That's what you're here for.